So we all like to think that it's not in our neck of the woods, not in our house, but it is happening. And I think that these 8 cases and the subsequent successful results we had is, yes, it happens, but it's not going to happen here. And that we're going to hold their feet to the fire and make them accountable for it. And we're going to protect the Constitution.
Yeah. And I think all we ask of police is that they do their job and tell the truth and recognize that they are appreciated, but they are also held to a standard that is higher. Just like as attorneys, we're held to a higher standard, and we should be, because that's what we're trained to do, and that's what they're trained to do. And that they don't get the luxury of being a bad apple. That it's time that they got to step up and do the right thing.
Yeah.
Oh, do the right thing. How many times did we say that week?
Well, and we talked about kind of what happened.
I do it all the time. I tell you, that's like my joke. I do it all the time. I promise.
We talked about what happened with that first case, not even really going through completion. What about the other 7 that happened after that?
So we had a pretrial conference with the prosecutor. They'd hired a special prosecutor to take care of these cases. And I think he took a long look at what happened the day before. And I don't think he even really, I'm trying to be kind. I don't think he even realized what the law was when it came to free speech and what you can say and what you can't. He was all upset. He's like, you just can't protest for 7 hours. That's what he said to me after the first trial. And I was like, actually, you can. You can. Matter of fact, I made a joke because there was a African-American police officer that was sitting beside of me. And I said, dang, could you imagine? Could you imagine if MLK was like, yeah, boys, pack it up. I hope we're being a little overly burdensome on the police. Like, it's been 3 hours. It's like, And he said, yes, I bet I wouldn't even have any rights. I said, I bet you wouldn't. And so we can protest as long as you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just law. And so I think that he realized after being handed a lot of case law and a loss, that what they did was not wrong, and that they were willing to not make us go through 7 more days of trials and do the right thing. It may have taken them 2 years to do it, but I'm glad that they did.
Well, yeah, it's crazy to me that here we go, 2 years long of kind of researching this and fighting this, and then it's just dismissed. I mean, it's great that it was dismissed because they knew it was wrong, but it's just amazing how that system works, so long for them to just say, yeah, that was wrong. This shouldn't have happened. It's
justice
crazy.
Was delayed. And, they say that justice delayed is justice denied. And a part of that is true, but there's a part that isn't.
Yeah.
And I'm always grateful when people see the error of their ways to take accountability and to do the right thing.
Yep.
And so I'm not going to fault Myrtle Beach for doing that.
Yep.
I think that was the commendable and the right thing to do. And I can acknowledge and appreciate that.
Yeah. So you guys, you vindicated these clients and got them out of that.
Put a W on the board for the First Amendment.
Yes. And you guys did this pro bono, which I think is amazing. And how did these clients feel after that was over?
Oh, they were so happy.
They were crying.
Yeah, they were crying.
Because some of them had lost their jobs. Like, they were young, 20, 21 years old, and some of them had gotten jobs doing the census. And that paid really good, like really good. And because they'd gotten arrested during that protest wrongfully, they'd lost their jobs. Their life shifted. They weren't able to get clearance to volunteer at the school. There's all these things that came with it and I think that's what people really don't realize is that when you're arrested, all this collateral damage comes, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's you lose your driver's license, and then it snowballs, and then you can't volunteer, you lose your job, or you lose your license, and these things, and then all of a sudden you can't work, and then you can't pay rent. So these things have consequences, and they paid a price for it.
Yeah.
For 2 years.
For 2 years, and they deserve better.
Yeah. It's definitely the other side you don't think about, for sure.
As we sat through trial the first day, our client, he continually would tap me and say, do I have to testify? He was so scared that he was going to have to testify, just because the thought, I mean, it's already this anxiety inducing when you're on trial for something. And he was so scared that he was going to have to get up in front of those jurors and everyone in the courtroom to just tell a story. And although he wanted to tell his story, because he wanted to be cleared of those charges, he was so afraid that he was going to have to. Luckily he didn't, but you know, all through trial, all those hours of sitting there all that day,
It was a long day.
like, Sade, do I still gotta talk? You still gotta talk.
It was cute because the next trial, because we weren't sure when we would get done, if it would be like a half day trial or a whole day or whatever, and it'd be in a whole day. But our second client that was going to go the next was there, and he was like, y'all are amazing. Like, this is some TV shit. I'm like, I don't know if you know, kind of a big deal.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome to hear.
Yeah.
So when
All
these,
females too.
Oh,
okay?
all-girl
Let's-
team.
Please,
Yeah.
yes, all females.
It was us
okay?
too. We also need to give credit to Amy
credit, yeah.
Zimmercheck,
Yes.
who you guys know. I mean, we've talked about her before. We're a big fan. She's amazing, and Sarah Austin. Yeah. So it was an all girl.
4
gang.
female a team.
Yeah.
Love it. Something you don't normally see, right?
Yes, no.
I love that.
We need more.
Minorities representing the minorities, right?
Yes.
I love it. I love it. So what happens when these charges are dropped? We're talking about like their record and stuff and losing jobs. Is that wiped from their?
Yeah, so it'll take about 90 days, and that those charges will be expunged off of your record. And expungement means that they get rid of all the stuff, right? So your mugshot comes down, your fingerprints go away. The report is still there, but it will not be on your NCIC report, which is your criminal background check, like through the feds, that everybody
Interesting.
can see. So yeah, it all gets expunged off your
Yeah.
record.
I was always curious about how that worked because it's, the digital footprint is so hard to kind of
Well, I
get
think
rid
that's
of.
that's the hard part is that their faces are on the news forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you Google their name, I mean, that's the first thing that comes up, that they were arrested
Yeah.
during this protest.
I mean, I used to work in TV and we would get emails all the time like, hey, this case got dropped. Can you please take down this story? And
Yeah.
they would have to require that they gave them proof and all stuff. It was a whole process to even get them removed, get that story
And a lot of
removed.
news, we have some great legislation in South Carolina that requires it. That if you, like, so, you see these companies that put your mugshot up on the internet just
Yeah.
to make money. So that's required. And so a lot of news, which I think is really commendable, agencies will honor that and do the same thing. But a lot of them won't.
A lot of them won't.
Yeah.
A lot of them won't take it down.
Yeah.
They'd say, well, it was the news at that time and
Yeah.
it is what it is. You know, we can edit on there and say it was dropped, but the story's staying up.
Yeah.
So, it's just, it sticks with you. Even if it gets dropped, they'll carry that with them forever. So, well, any other thoughts on this story? Great job, you guys. I loved seeing
The
it
girl
come
gang
through.
strikes again.
Yes, yes. What do you have anything to
Hashtag
say
girl
to
gang.
folks that may experience kind of, civil rights violations or anything like this?
Yeah, no, absolutely call us. We do those cases. We do them criminally, we do them civilly, and we'll take a look at everything and see if you have a case or we can help you, and we're all in.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, ladies, so much, especially for the work you're doing in the community. All right, guys. Well, let us know if you have any questions or comments on this. Of course, you can visit us online at justiceslovely.com. We're also anywhere that you consume your media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Of course, we have so much content up on YouTube. We can literally answer almost any question up on our YouTube page, so check that out. Thank you so much for watching the Carolina Justice Report. We'll see you next Tuesday.
When life gets ugly, justice is love.